Okay, so next up on the black market was the Pz4 Hydrostat. This is a tier 5 premium medium tank for the Germans, as you'd expect given its name. But this thing here is interesting because they only sold 5,000 of them on the black market on the EU server, so on the NS server it's probably going to be incredibly limited quantity. It sold out in I think less than 2 minutes on the EU server, and it was worth 6.5 million credits. So personally, I actually did go and get myself one of these because I actually wanted one of these for a long time, and it's purely for collector's reasons. I don't know if this thing's considered to be a particularly good tier 5. I just wanted it for purely just like purely as like a garage trophy. I think would probably be the best way to describe it. Just as like a rare vehicle just to own. It's kind of like the FCM 36 Pack 40. I never bothered getting one of those for a long time, but I bought it during the black market as well because I want just to have it in my garage, if that makes sense. Just having it there is pretty much the only real reason. So I really can't give like a full on like assessment of what I think this vehicle is like and like the playstyle and stuff. I would imagine it's similar to a normal Panzer IV with the 75mm L48, except this thing is more fragile. It has 50mm of frontal plate armor instead of 80. And the side armor is the same, but doesn't have the side skirts, which means it's more likely to get one shot by dirt guns. And the turret seems to be effectively the same. Now, because it does get preferential matchmaking, it will never meet tier 7s, but it also means that just in general, whenever you're top tier, whenever you're against like tier 6s as well, the vehicle will be a bit more compromised because it's a bit slower, but it does have a bit of health over the top of the Panzer IV H. So it has 550 health in comparison to 480 that the normal Panzer IV H gets. But you can see the Panzer IV Hydrostat is one of 4 premium medium tanks you can get for the Germans at tier 5. In terms of rarity, it's the Panzer V4 is the most rare, then it's the Panzer IV Hydrostat, then it's Turan 3, then it's the Panzer T25. That's like the order I would put them in, because the Panzer V4 I think was only sold as a like a pre-order bundle so far. Like I don't think it's ever been sold since. But given that this is the black market, if there was a time for this thing to actually be sold, it would be now. And I'm going to tell you right now, I would buy one of these in a heartbeat because I've always wanted one of these things here as well. Like the Hydrostat and the Panzer V4, I've always wanted both of those vehicles, and I've managed to finally get the Hydrostat for myself for collector's reasons. I would love to have this thing here to actually play, because it just seems like such an interesting, like weird vehicle. Like having an L48 75mm gun and effectively like a Panther hull at tier 5 just seems like such an odd but interesting like combination to have. And I would really like to have one of these here at some point just to see what it's like. And I can say, like, just so you know, like the general numbers like I've seen of the Panzer V4 in the entire like time that I've been playing World of Tanks, which is about like 8 years now, I think I've seen probably like 4 of these total, and I think all of them were press accounts. Like I don't think I've actually seen somebody who actually owns one of these. And when it comes to the Panzer IV Hydrostat, there was a period where I did see like 3 of them in one game, because it was like during like I think it was like a Razer mouse sale or something like that, where you got like a code for one of these if you bought a mouse from Razer. It was like a sort of like like a co-op deal or something like that there with World of Tanks, and I think it was like called like the World of Tanks like Death Adder mouse or something like that. But this was a few years ago, and there was a period where this thing here was actually semi popular, but it's pretty much like rare as hell nowadays again. So if you want to get this thing for collector's purposes, I would say go for it, but just be aware the cost for this thing is 6.5 million credits. It's actually 500,000 credits more expensive than the Bulldog was, and it's only 2.5 million credits off the cost of a Carnarvon Action X. So if you're not really interested in like collecting like rare vehicles and you want mainly just to get like decent like tier premiums, I would say it probably would be a better idea to hold off on getting this thing if you don't really need it. Like if you want it for collector's purposes, go for it. But if you're looking like a vehicle to make money, if you're just looking like solid like premiums to like make credits, then it's probably better to look for something else, because there's probably going to be other tier premiums almost certainly sold in the next like few days of the black market.